What's up guys, welcome back. So I was in a multiplayer server trying to help someone with a building problem, and to find a solution for this weird issue turned into this. Now he built his first floor by making it all out of half grids, which sounds nice, until you get to the second floor and find out that half the snap points aren't buildable going straight up. This solves that and opens up a door to a ton of new ideas. Here's how to get 9 buildable points per one grid, and a few glitches like one to have a beam without a strutter support, and a few practical and kind of wacky ideas I came up with just messing around with it. So to get started, we're just going to build something like we'd always do to make a half grid. And by the way, I got a new mic. Let me know how it sounds. The quality should be way better. Instead of doing the half grid like we usually do, we're going to stack all 4 sides this time. Now we need to crisscross these, and this in itself needs to be looked into because you can still drop the diagonals down. And place a quarter log down on 3 of the 4 points. In previous videos I showed that if you leave a tail off of this, the first one will snap to the grid. And if the second one isn't there, it'll snap past the grid. And if you do it in this order, it'll pull the first one back. Wait, what the? It's never done it like this before. I guess I'll try again. This is what it usually, imagine saying that in Sons of the Forest, looks like when it pulls back and we can remove the support underneath it without needing a strut. I haven't played with this enough, but I do know it is buildable. Well, I've never seen this icon either in this kind of situation. Let's try it and see what happens. Oh, okay, so it just pretty much fixed itself. Alright, let's get back to what we were working on. After we drop these down, we can stand them up and then snap off of them. We want to keep building this out until we have 8 columns, a full grid away from the contraption that we made. I got rid of the junk in between, and now the only thing left to do is get a snap point in the middle of all of them. Like I said, it was a really weird issue to figure out. Most of the work is done now. We're just going to bring a log down off the side and make one more quick contraption, this time being the same as the usual for a half grid. After standing this log up like we did before, we're going to snap off this log around our 8 columns until we can snap it into the center. Just like that. Now all these, without modifying them, are all snapped to a 90-degree grid, with the middle being the exception. We can make the middle one snap to the grid as well if we want, and I'll show you how. These two are already connected to the grid. The middle one can be added, and it's very easy to do. All you have to do is line up the white line directly through the center of the log in front of you. So after you do the first one, it becomes locked to the grid, and you don't have to try to line it up or anything. You can just keep building this. If you lock it to the grid, it behaves the same way as the rest of the logs. If you want it to go back to being free, just remove the log snapped to it. and now it's free again. This works with any length. I know, that's what she said. I'm probably gonna make a second part on this, extending them past the 9 and connecting them at different heights, and I think that's where the real crazy, I'm sorry YouTube, I'll edit it out, stuff is gonna start happening. Now that you know how to do this, I'll show you a few ideas I had just tinkering around with it. The first idea I had was obvious to me, and that's a 45-degree angle off of a square grid, because there are ways to do it, but it's always a pain. And this makes it easy, especially if the center is cut down lower than what I did. This is a new glitch this patch that happens way too often with standing up logs with 1/4 to 3/4 logs. I wish I saw that arrow going up when I was recording because I would have explored it. To fix it, you have to remove them and replace them, unfortunately. It hardly ever happens when you stand them up with full logs. I'm going to speed through most of my ideas and show you what I've come up with, so there really won't be much of a tutorial on anything. If you want one on something specific, just let me know in the comments. The first square is now built on a 45-degree angle from the grid, so now I'm going to extend the grid square out past that. This is what my first idea looks like framed. And here's what it looks like with a floor on. Now this shows how easy it is to snap any angle perfectly, especially if it's low. It also builds squares inside of each other. Now there are other ways to do this, but this makes it way too easy. This one's probably my favorite idea. Now you could start off by making a small hallway or alcove or something with it. But this is where it really shines. I made a video similar to this months ago that a lot of you seem to enjoy, and it didn't look nearly as cool as this. I don't know what to call it necessarily, but they're pretty much quarter-sized windows. Here's another idea of a, I don't know, maybe a scaled-down castle look, where the towers are square and only stick out a half snap point. Now, this could also be a look for a fireplace. Talking about half snap points, I didn't know you can place the flooring down on each point in line with each other to make the floor look really seamless. Even where the towers go out past it. Usually when you have a half grid to a full grid, it's blatantly obvious, you can see it. And now for the wacky one. They said they fixed forced snapping, but it's actually easier this patch than it ever has been. If you make 2 points invalid, aka nothing connected at the end, and remove one, the log needs to find a connection point and will pull to it. When you do it with half grids, you get really hard angles like a 22.5. I just made something silly out of it that looks like it's, I don't know, out of Star Wars or something. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, and all that other good stuff. Until the next one, see ya!